Hi class, it's Dr. Janacek here. I just wanted to go over your week 1 assignments. I hope everyone's excited and ready to jump right in. So this week, really all of the weeks, what's so great about this course is everything that you're doing builds throughout the course. So all of the writings that you're doing will be useful for the major project. So don't treat any of these, shorter writing assignments like they're worthless or busy work. They're not. And many times you'll be able to repurpose the material, revise it, expand upon it, use it as a pre-write of some sort to help with your major assignments. So just keep that in mind as you're tackling these different assignments. Make sure you're giving them, their attention and treating them like they're valuable tools for expanding your perspective and building your portfolio. So week 1, you need to watch that introduction video many times. The Bible verses that are discussed in the week 1 introduction video and transcript are going to be useful for the assignments. They might be referenced in the discussion forum, for instance. So make sure you are reading that section and watching the video in the AIM section of Brightspace. This week we are thinking about the importance of language, the power of language, topic that we will explore in depth in this course. So many of the readings and assignments relate to that. So you're learning about writing processes, so the various stages of drafting and revision, etc. So you'll want to do all of those readings that are mentioned in the Learn section. So the Writing Commons piece, the 2 sections from your textbook and conversation, the video, the TED Talk from Lera Boroditsky on how language shapes the way we think. And then you're going to start familiarizing yourself with the formatting requirements of your discipline. So you'll either be working with APA, for the majority of majors you'll be working with APA, or if you're in theology or ministry and select other disciplines, you'll be working with Chicago Turabian. So if you're not sure which style you should be using, reach out to me and we'll figure that out for you, but you'll want to pick and be consistent with the citation style that you're using, and it's a paper formatting style as well. So starting from this week, all of your assignments that you turn in, aside from the discussion forums, which you can't format like as a paper because you should be posting that content unless otherwise specified directly into the body of the post. You shouldn't be uploading attachments unless you're doing a peer review worksheet and it asks you for that. But otherwise, like for the pre-writing assignment or the pre-test this week, you should format that according to your citation style, your formatting style. Okay, so regardless of formatting style, either of them will be double-spaced, 12-point font, 1-inch margins, etc. So make sure that you are familiar with the formatting guidelines for your discipline. So you'll want to look at those resources. There's some supplemental resources that are useful if you haven't really worked with a citation style before that you should check out. And then in terms of the application of this content, we have a few different assignments. So the first one is the discussion forum. And most of the time you'll have an initial post that's due Saturday and then 2 response posts to your peers, initial posts that are due Tuesday night. So this week, your discussion forum post asks you to think more about a topic introduced in your course introduction video about how discussing the signs that language is a tool given to us by God. So how do you know that language is a God-given tool? What examples from your life can you talk about that attest to this idea that language is a gift from God? And how is it being used as a tool from God? What is the purpose that it's serving? So you'll want to make some claims about the purpose that language is serving as a God-given tool, and you'll want to back up those claims with examples from your own life. The word count requirement for this is 250 words for the initial post, and then and that's due Saturday night by 11:59 p.m. And you'll have 2 response posts due by Tuesday night at 11:59 p.m. and those should be 100 words in length each. The word count matters. It's part of the assignment requirements. And don't just write to the word count. Really, that's the amount of words it takes to give a fully fleshed out response to this prompt. So for the response posts, you need to be treating this like, class conversation in an in-person setting, right? So you wouldn't just say like, good point, that would make the discussion end there, right? So you want to build on what your peers are saying. So help them expand upon their answers, ask them questions, provide additional examples, challenge their ideas constructively, right? Give alternate considerations. So help them expand upon their ideas in your comments, or give them more to work with, give them more to think about. And do something substantive instead of just, saying thumbs up, great. That's not really helpful or productive in any way other than just being encouraging, which is nice. You can start there, but then build upon it with some substantive feedback. And you will be graded on the quality of your feedback. So if you haven't already done so, take a look at the discussion forum rubric. It'll help give you a sense for how you'll be graded for that particular assignment. So then you have a week 1 reading quiz. You'll have a lot of these. These quizzes are open book, so you can use your textbook for them. They're on the readings, basically. So it has to do with like writing principles and here like the writing stages, etc. So the content from the quizzes will come directly from your readings or any videos that you're watching, and you can have those available to answer there. And that's due Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. All right, and then you have the week 1 course pretest. The purpose of that is to help give me a sense for where you're at in your writing and what we need to work on. And again, this is a topic that you're writing about that's going to be developed more in a future project. So for this, you're thinking about a time when you experienced a failure of communication. Okay, so a time when communication broke down. When did you and another person just not understand each other and weren't able to achieve consensus or mutual understanding of each other, or when you weren't able to convince somebody of your perspective, or at least get on the same page in a productive way, even if it's not winning somebody over. So it could be a couple who had a disagreement, you just really didn't quite understand each other, or it could be like a parent and a child, or somebody you differed in terms of gender, like female, or differences in culture, so you didn't quite understand each other because there was a cultural difference there, or a difference of race, age, etc. So there needs to be some sort of personal difference in the communicants that you could sort of ruminate upon how those differences might have contributed somewhat to that communication breakdown. So you don't want to pick language difference, right? Because that's pretty clear, if you're not speaking the same language, why the communication situation isn't working out, right? But if you pick something like, culture, you can sort of reflect more on, well, what are the exact cultural differences that were shaping this communication interaction, and how exactly did they affect, the misunderstanding that occurred. So that's the goal of this pretest, is for you to write in a traditional essay format with an introduction, a thesis, or argument statement. So what is the larger claim that you're making about the story that you're telling? Some sort of overarching guiding statement of purpose. What do you hope your reader takes away from your essay? What's the main point, the main idea? That's the thesis. And then a conclusion. So you'll want to organize your content into paragraphs accordingly, and present your paper about communication breakdown, and use the examples from either your life or a situation you witnessed to explore this topic in some depth. So a minimum of 600 words for that, okay? And that's due Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. It's a good idea to schedule time to meet with me in the first 2 weeks. That way you can treat this like more personal than an online class can be. So if you haven't already done so, feel free to reach out to schedule a time to meet. And I look forward to getting to know you guys.